Yeah, when I looked after Crispin's Wine Bar and two or three other clubs, yeah, I was the business. I used to train every day, always down the gym, always running with packs on my back, never stopped. 24/7 I'd be training. I knew that I had to do a job, and I knew that being that bit fit than anybody else and stronger than anybody else, I'm never going to get beat. Never going to get beat. I'm always there. I'm always going to get up, and I'm always going to fight. I'm not going to give in. Yeah. So like normal people that don't, normal people that drink, smoke, and all that game, don't go to the gym. They're weak people, and once you give them a clump, they stay down. They ain't going to get up no more. But me, you give me a clump, I'm going to get up and fight. I won't just stop. I'm one of them people. Yeah, that's my game. Yeah. So when I worked at Crispin's, I went there. My mate Tony Williams, he worked on the door, and he was leaving, so he got all the Ken Edwards and said, "Look, there's a guy in Acton called Ray Hill. Yeah, he runs all the areas around here. He's the one. He don't stop fighting, but he's good at his job. Yeah." So he said, "Bring him over." He brought me over. All right, Ken. I was big. I mean, I've always been a big lump. I mean, what I was then, about 18 stone, but big. I mean, 18 stone, but big, muscular guy, big, powerful man, yeah. And he gave me the job, and he said, "Look, this place, this Crispin's Wine Bar is up and coming. He done just got in there, Ken." He said, "Look, I just opened a VIP lounge upstairs." He said, "Got the wine bar and got the cocktail bar, Crispin's. It's changed now. The big Crispin's by Ealing Common Station, yeah, by Ealing Common, the Green at Ealing Common. So when I worked in there, it was like the cocktail bar was the aggro really, because you got the gins, the vodkas, the martini, all them sort of things, yeah. And the wine bar was a bit yuppified, So what Ken used to say to me, "Look, I want all these people out of it really, Ray. I want our own people in there, people that are going to spend money, not just buy one glass of, whatever, and one bottle of this, and that lasts them the night. It's no good for my business. I'll be skint in a minute." I said, "I'll sort that out, And I started to get a few people in there, a few of my pals in there, but I got a few of my pals that I knew that would cause aggro, you know what I mean? That I knew that would cause trouble, and I have to go back there and, so when I got my mates in to cause problems, I got them to cause problems with the yuppified people, and so they never come no more. They knocked you on the head, I started to get my own people in there. And it's weird, really, when you see people come into these wine bars and all that, because when they come in, you see them all smart, and if a couple of hours later they look like a mess, they're being sick, they look a mess, they're falling around all over the gaff, and they want to start fighting. Do you know what I mean? You think not a minute ago, a couple of hours ago, you come in, it was all nice, all right, Ray, and all that game. Now, you want to have a fight with me, And the amount of fights I had in Crispin's Wine Bar, mate, it's unbelievable. But I never lost. I'd fight two or three guys easy. You know what I mean? I was so fit and so strong. That's what it's about, isn't it? Getting bottles, glass, and I'm not bothered about that, mate. As long as I get up and win the day, And so that was the most funniest thing about it, because when Crispin's would end, go up to the VIP upstairs, and I go there for an hour and sort people out, good people, always good people get there, and I just sort that out. And when I get rid of all them people as well, Ken was well pleased with me, give me a little raise, another £50 a week. £50 weekends on top of your wages is good, yeah. And then I used to go to Lucky's, yeah. Lucky's was like where people come after they've been to the pub, So you're getting people come there, all over the gaff, and it's up for me, Billy, my mate Bill, Dominic McCoy, and a few other people to make sure them ones don't get in or to behave themselves. You tell them straight away, listen, I'm watching you, mate. I'll be on you tonight. If you cause any problems, you're straight out and you're going to get a clump, And that's how it was, really, because I didn't get my monkeys. I I loved the fight, and I loved, at the end of the day, making sure that I fucking hurt you, you know what I mean? If you was going to call aggravation, mate, I was going to hurt you bad. You know, I was going to fucking really hurt you, you know? I didn't like all that aggro. I didn't like it. Wine bar, sweet. Come to Lucky's, you knew at the end of the night, you knew Lucky's is going to be the aggro one. And there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is, yeah? So when you go to Lucky's, you know, it's like always aggro. Dominic McCoy, he won it. You know, he had a good door, had some good people on the door. I mean, me and little Bill, when I say little Bill, short guy, had the biggest legs you ever see. Little bodybuilder could really have it, you know what I mean? And me and him on the door, mate, we was mustard, you know. I used to chuck him out. Bill used to ping him, or Bill used to chuck him out. Boom, I used to ping him. Yeah, mate. We didn't muck about on that Lucky's. I swear. You know, the amount of fights I've had there, and it's just what makes it bad. You got especially Lucky's, because being it is a club sort of place, yeah, a lot of late license. You got people that come in there. They're coming in there with like proper gear on, you know, George Armani, Valentino's, Boss, you know, and they're coming in there with proper gear, and cost £400-500 a suit and jackets, you know. You know, you get plenty of flash people in there, and it don't seem possible that they would go in there with £400-500 coat jackets and things like that, and coats and stuff, and they'll cause a fight, and they get their jacket ripped off them, you know, and the blood all over the gaff, and they've had a good night. They're going on looking like muffin. Do you know what I mean? Oh man, that Lucky's used to have some problems in that Lucky's, mate. More fights in Lucky's than ever. Whatever club I've ever been to, that Lucky's, every weekend from Friday to Saturday, it'd kick off. Big fights. Anyway, look, I'll do another one in a minute because I've got to charge my phone, yeah? Bang, 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 nice one.